So, in this video I want to touch on the constant and persistent rise of Call of Duty Warzone. Warzone is undeniably one of the most popular titles in the world currently. I'd like to just break down the upward trend and what led us to be where we are today. If you're unsure on what the meaning of a Battle Royale game means, it is roughly defined by having a set number of people start in an arena of sorts and fight to be the last remaining participant. That's pretty much it, but I'm sure you already knew that. Below you will find this video has chapters. Feel free to skip ahead if you find any part to be not quite your cup of tea. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy listening to my words. The history of Battle Royale games, in particular, can be traced back to as far as the early 2010s. This would appear in the form of the Hunger Games custom maps being created in Minecraft. If you have played these maps when they were in their peak, you will know how much fun they were. Nowadays, they do still exist, but in a much more advanced way, as you can imagine. Moving on from Minecraft, we started to see modded versions of already popular games like Arma 2 and 3. A huge mod that created a zombie-based survival game was derived from Arma 2. You may have heard of it. DayZ. DayZ was nowhere even near perfect during the early access era, but it did pave the way for a further modification due to its popularity. It was clear to see that the demand was there for a gritty, hard, skill-based survival game. And what is the ultimate survival game? A Battle Royale. This led to Daybreak's H1Z1. This is commonly accepted to be the first proper BR game to be released outside of modern existing games. I remember H1Z1 being massively hyped before release, and I personally didn't have much experience in the game, unfortunately. But from what I've seen, it was well received but riddled with bugs which ultimately tarnished the reputation in the end. But this release did get players catching the BR bug, so to speak. No one could have predicted what was to come in the same decade. From 2012 to 2016, we have various projects that attempted to become the next big thing, but failed. Who remembers War Z? Yeah, so we kind of struggled through the next 4 years continuing to play DayZ and some other survival games. All while in the background, Call of Duty was in its darkest years. Very good shooters were hard to come by at this point. And then, Brendan Green comes along. The creation of PUBG was born. Initially, it was released under early access in March 2017. It was buggy, but the bare bones were there and they were very strong. PUBG erupted the genre into the mainstream. It requires skill, a fantastic and diverse map, and affordable. At early access, it cost around $30 or roughly £23. For early access, this could be questionable, but in its initial state and the rapidness of the updates, I think this was justified. With the immense rise of PUBG, there was a glimmer in the distance. 4 months into the distance, we got another release. A game that literally changed the face of the internet. If you haven't guessed, that game was Fortnite Battle Royale. Fortnite did release with 3 different game modes. Obviously, Battle Royale was one of them. Secondly, a hybrid tower defense shooter. And lastly, the Fortnite creative mode. Battle Royale was vastly more popular than the other 2 game modes. Fortnite was a little different. It introduced a building element, something we hadn't seen before in a BR game, but a common feature in survival games, so the audience adapted quickly. Love it or hate it, it worked. You may have seen more recently they have released a non-building mode, which is refreshing. Moving on a year, in 2018 we got the first Battle Royale from Call of Duty, Blackout, which was a game mode inside of Black Ops 4. It was popular but didn't break any records. It felt good to get a fresh state of play in a familiar engine. I think at this point it was only a matter of time until Activision expanded on this idea, and expanded is exactly what they did. In October 2019, we got our hands on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. No, not that one. This one. As previously mentioned, 2012 to 2018 were the dark days of Call of Duty. With release after release failing, Activision struggled to read the room. MW19 was exactly what COD needed. They single-handedly revived a dying series. It was fresh and simple. It felt like they were back to their roots, with the difference being in a great new engine. This paved the way to creating Warzone in 2020, and the rest is history, kind of. In the next segment, I want to walk you through the rise of the genre after these main releases. Like most things popular, they go through the Twitch and YouTube stage. This is always the biggest test of the longevity of a game. Only the best of the best stay afloat. With so many trends coming and going, you can still find PUBG, Warzone, Fortnite and Apex Legends cement their places on the front pages of both websites, with no motion to swing any other way at the moment, even after 5 years since release. Not many games can achieve this kind of constant player base, but for a lot of people, these titles are a default, a go-to game. For a long time, this was either the newest Call of Duty or maybe FIFA, but these battle royales have come to the forefront of everyone's collection, taking centre stage in their gaming lives. Twitch streamers, for example, the likes of Dr. Disrespect, the 6'8" gaming machine, and Ninja, the walking meme, have hyper-popularised these games through generating millions of views during their careers as streamers and competitive players. Overall, these events have created an esports scene for the genre. Doing this will ensure each game's place in the gaming world long term. With the biggest battle royales adopting the free-to-play business model, it has allowed every person with a console or PC to give one or all of these a go, presenting no risk to the gamer as no capital is needed to get involved with the gaming world's latest trend. Obviously, that does come with some negatives. Some speculation of pay to win is always a subject when any developer or publisher opts for this route, but for the most part, I think the battle royales currently out manage to avoid this currently. With the Twitch scene and the esports scene showing no sign of slowing down with these games, there is no telling where the upward trend will end, but evidence does suggest these games are only going to get more popular year on year, and I can't say I have any complaints about that. Warzone's competition is fierce. I'd bet that at least 70% of the players that actively play Warzone have also tried the closest competitors too. The three other top players being PUBG, Fortnite and Apex Legends. Sorry guys, I can't count Fall Guys. The unique nature of each title makes jumping from each game easy. No matter which one you play, you can have a completely different experience from each one. Warzone gives you the perfected formula of Call of Duty that has been developed for over 2 decades. PUBG gives you a gritty, more hardcore style of gameplay. Fortnite's building mechanics sets it apart from the rest and has a cartoony kid appeal too. And Apex is fast paced, sci-fi based with a hint of power-up style combat. They all rival each other without being in full direct combat. Each offers their quirks and in each game you will end up having a great time. I think a lot of people have moved over to Warzone in the last year because it's familiar to a lot of people. Call of Duty has been around for a lifetime in the gaming world. This is something that cannot be said for the other BR games. Humans are a species alike and enjoy patterns and familiarity for the most part. This is not to deny each top game their bragging right. All of these games have impacted the world and they all have their own spotlight that still shines incredibly bright. All the time there is an audience for a beautifully created mechanical game that requires skill, patience and tactics. Then each game will endure phenomenal popularity. Some of these games have thrived for half a decade. I have no doubt that there will be competition in the gaming world for longer than we will be alive, but in the coming years we'll wait to see what will be knocking off our big players. Wherever those releases are, they will truly have to be a real spectacle. Currently, as of April 2022, Warzone is the 4th most popular Battle Royale game on the market with a player count of over 100 million players and an active player base of between 250,000 to 500,000 players per day. From March 2020 to April 2021, they saw a growth of 94 million unique players opting to play Warzone. So who is above Warzone in the popularity contest? Well, from the top we have Fortnite with over 3 million active players at the time of this recording. Truly unbelievable. Secondly, we have Apex Legends with a little over 1 million active players. In third place we have PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, or otherwise known as PUBG, with around 800,000 active players currently. With those numbers, Warzone has its challenges set pretty high. Will Warzone hit these numbers again and find itself at the top? Honestly, I'm not sure, but I sway towards probably not. But that doesn't mean that this game can't have a full and prosperous reign in its own community. There are clearly a lot of people that still demand Warzone daily. This can be seen by the numbers shown before. It isn't about being at the top of the world if you've built a good audience and community around your brand. Call of Duty has had some very rough years, but they've seemed to have pulled themselves out of that hole. The largest problem we have in Warzone is hackers and aimbotters right now. There has been so many attempts to stop these frustrating actions, but like most things, if there is demand, there is supply. One patch comes in and another 5 hacks get created. Activision needs to keep their finger on the pulse with this issue. The hacker issue is driving away players daily, and the only way is down from here if this isn't nipped in the bud. Who remembers the downfall of World at War or any other old COD that was left behind and neglected? Once hackers find a weakness, they exploit, and if the game is forgotten by the devs, they become a cemetery that's only occupants are hackers. If devs abandon a game, so will the player base. Warzone may not be the most popular game in existence, but in a lot of people's books, they would suggest it takes a certain centre stage in their gaming lives. There is certainly no shame in creating and maintaining a game that is impactful to its own community rather than a general audience. Will the Battle Royale hype train ever stop? Will Warzone die? If so, when? Well, unless you have a working time travelling DeLorean, I'd wager you don't know, much like myself. I could see the BR genre remaining popular and maybe always having some kind of involvement in the gaming scene, just due to its sheer gladiator-like feelings, being super competitive, easy to access and timeless. Every game is different, and every player reacts unpredictably. Every encounter keeps you on the edge. Warzone will have its ups and downs, no doubt, but as long as the devs can eliminate problems as they appear in a timely fashion, there is no reason why Warzone can't continue to thrive, maintain a loyal audience and grow with the times. It is possible that Activision will release a new BR game to replace Warzone, but this doesn't make much sense to do anytime soon, as Warzone is so adaptable with constant updates, shifts in gameplay and maps. The possibilities are virtually endless. There are a lot more great things we are yet to see from this whole genre. I believe we have just scratched the surface, and do you know what? I'm pretty excited to see what we have coming. So that's pretty much going to do it for me today. If you enjoyed this video or want to check out anything else I have, then click the subscribe button and smash like. I'm off. Bye bye.